This is a compass. It's for drawing circles. What you're going to do is you're going to make a dot approximately in the middle of your page, and you're going to put the center of the white circle, that little metal piece, right on top of your dot, and you're going to pick one of these holes. The pencil's got to be nice and sharp, and you're going to make a circle. Now, if you accidentally move your compass, all you have to do is find that dot in the middle again. If you forget to make a dot, it's very hard to line the compass up again. So as long as you've made that dot in the beginning, you should be fine. Now you're going to keep your compass in that same spot and pick another hole farther out to make another circle. You need at least 6 circles for this. You're going to make 6 concentric circles. So if you want to make more than 6, that's fine, but they do have to, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, I need 3 more. You do have to have 6 concentric circles. Now if you hit the edge of the page, you're going to have to go back in and make another one inside. Hold on. So I'm getting very close to the edge of the paper, so I can't make any bigger circles. So what I'm going to do is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to make one here that's smaller, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put my dot over my little metal thing over the dot, and then inside here I can make another circle. And inside here I can make even another one. As long as I can get this wheel to spin, I can make a littler circle even. And it only works if your pencil point is sharp too. Alright, so now I have actually 7 circles, and they're all concentric. My next step is the paint. Okay, so in the middle, okay, first of all I just want to show you my paint looks like this. So you can see some of the colors are a little tiny bit messed up from other kids using them. That's okay, I can still use it. Okay. The center circle is going to be white. Now the outer circle, the outermost circle, I'm going to pick one of the other colors other than white. So in this case, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to wash it really well, right, scraping it to the bottom of the can. And then I'm going to pick one of these other colors. I think I'll pick this pink color here. And I'm going to paint the edge circle that color. So what I'm doing is I'm trying my best to stay inside the lines, and I'm painting the entire circle. The best type of brush to do this is a flat, small brush with somewhat stiff bristles. You don't want a brush that's too soft, because the bristles will bend and drip. When you start getting dry, ugly, scratchy lines, you just dip your brush in the paint again. You don't need to wash it unless you're switching colors. So try your best job to stay inside the lines. If you go a tiny bit out, don't get stressed out and throw your paper away. It will look fine as long as you do your best. Now, don't make it intentionally sloppy, don't rush. Try and do your best, because if you do not care about your artwork, your audience will not care about looking at it. So you have to care about your finished product. Now, at this point, you're going to need to mix a little white and this color. So you need to use a mixing tray. We do not want to further contaminate these colors, okay, because other classes need to use them. They're already somewhat messed up from kids being careless. So I'm going to scoop out some of this magenta and I'm putting it in a mixing tray. And then I'm going to wash my brush before I get the white. That way I'm being fair to the kids that I'm sharing with. Now I'm going to take the white, I'm going to scoop some of it out, and I'm going to put it in the dish next to the pink, not on top of it. Okay, you see how there's a little bit of color in the white? That should be okay. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that white And I'm going to mix 1 dot of magenta in it to make a very, very, very light pink. And that's the color I'm putting next to the white. So the middle is white, and then comes a light pink. And again, if you mess up a little, don't get stressed out. Just do your best job. Now, because I'm using my own mixing tray and not the paint that I'm sharing with everybody, it's not that key that I wash my brush anymore, because this is my paint and I'm not sharing it. So I can take a little more magenta and I can put it in with the light pink that I already mixed and make it a tiny bit darker. And that's going to be my next color for my next circle. When you add white to a color, you are making what's called a tint. So these are tints of magenta. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my mixing tray, get a little more of my magenta, mix it with a little bit more of my pink, get it a little darker, and that will be my next color. If it's too close to the previous color, you will notice immediately, and you can add a little more magenta. It is a lot easier to take a light color and make it get gradually darker than it is to take a dark color and mix white into it and make it lighter. The darker color tends to overpower the white, and you end up using tons and tons of white. So you can see it's getting gradually darker from white all the way to pink, and it's getting to be a darker pink. I'm adding more to this. Okay, and then the next one will be even darker, but not quite as dark as the original. So what I'm going to do is, see how this one got a little bit contaminated with the white? This is the one I'll use because it's going to be slightly lighter than the original magenta. You start to run out of paint, you can dip your brush in water, not necessarily to wash it, but just to make the paint go a little further. And now you have what almost looks like a bullseye going from light to dark.